I want you to know this tonight, that your absence is hitting that person hard tonight. Your absence is hitting them hard. I want you to know this, that toxic, abusive people, they perpetrate. Like it's almost like they dared you to leave. They never expected for you to leave that dreadful situation. So they bark, they front, they act like they're just this big bad wolf. But inside of their soul, it's a scared little boy or little girl that perpetrated like they had all of this power, when in fact they didn't. They're just perpetrating to be this wolf, but really they're like little sheep, like little lambs. And today is hitting them really hard. Because I want you to understand something. You don't realize that you have a good thing until it is gone, until it's no longer there. See, for many of us, we were mistreated. We were treated badly. And people thought that we never had the courage, nor did we have the self-esteem to leave a dark situation, a situation that was not good for us, a situation that left us sad. It left us lonely. Even though we may have been in a relationship, we were still lonely, a situation where we gave so much of ourselves to it, because that's just who we are to our core. And I think when you love that hard and you're that committed and that faithful, the toxic person on the other end, they never expect for you to get the courage to leave. But you left. And I want you to know this, they have not been the same since. They can't think straight. They can't sleep at night. They have an emptiness inside of their heart. Because you have to know this, that instead of them really finding who God is, what they used it's sad, they substituted the presence of God with your energy. Instead of them taking the time to really work on themselves, to really confront their issues, confront their pains, confront their insecurity, confront what's going on inside of their soul, they mask it with just a mean face, a very critical face, a cheating face, an abusive face, a lying face. But when the mask fell off and you saw what was lying behind that mask, you had to pray, and God had to pull you out of that situation. And now, because you are gone, it's hitting them hard. Because abusers, they have a cycle. And what they do is they try to loop you back in. And they tried to loop you back in this time, and it didn't work this time. Because you found self-worth. You found out your value. You realize that, you know what? If I'm going to be miserable, I may as well go ahead on and be miserable by myself. And then you begin to have the encounter with God, when he pulls you into this loving relationship and he begins to love you right. You know, he pursues you. Even when you were in that mess, he was still pursuing you. So he pulled you in, you opened up your heart, and you ain't been the same since. So now you don't crave a relationship. You don't crave validation from a man or a woman. You don't crave the attention. You don't need the attention. You don't need the pat on your back. It's weird. For some time, I could say, well, it's not really weird. I guess that's the wrong word to use. It's refreshing to know that I got what I need, and you're healthy and you're secure now. So it's easy for you to walk away. It's easy for you not to fall for um, the same games. It's hard to play somebody that has an encounter with God. And now you're whole and you're happy and you're smiling and you're looking so good. You're so just in tune with who you are on the inside. You're nurturing that spiritual part of you, that inner child inside of you. You're giving it the love that it needs, the forgiveness that it needs, the grace that it needs, the attention that it needs. You're giving God that same thing. And now you're whole and complete and you're filled up good. And you're looking good and you're smiling. Things are falling in place for you. And they really, what's so sad is they really thought, and I have to keep saying this because a lot of people are dealing with this energy. They really thought that you would stay down. They really thought that you would never bounce back. And they thought that without them, you would fall apart. But like I said before, we experience life through the perception of our mentality. So although without supply, they fall apart, but you don't fall apart because you're linked up to the ultimate multiplier, lover, redeemer, deliverer, sustainer, God. So who can compete with that? No one can compete with that. So you're open to only healthy connections, normalcy, peace, and tranquility. And anything that does not align with that, you ain't interested. And they're laying over there tonight, losing sleep, wondering how in the world did they let something so special go? How in the world did they treat something so valuable so low? How in the world did they not recognize the gift that you are? And now it is too late and it is hitting them hard because no matter what, when they go and they look in that mirror, they have to see what they are. And it's hard to face the music when you've been so used to manipulating and controlling people. And now because God has begun to awaken humanity, he has awakened humanity. People catching it at different times, they're waking up. And because of that, people know who they are inside of their soul. So it's becoming more scarce for that narcissist, that toxic person, that abuser, that manipulator, that liar, that cheater. It's becoming scarce for them to get supply now because God is reconciling people back to him. So as you go on about your night tonight, I want you to feel so good about how far you have come in your life. Give yourself some grace. Be so thankful that you took the time to allow God in. And even though it was scary for you to do it, because it was probably something you've never done before, but now you value the time that you have to really just communicate with God. You value the time that you have just to sit with yourself, to just feel the stillness. You really appreciate the freedom that you have to be able to love freely, beginning with yourself. And then from the inside, it flows on the outside. And when you look up, there's the Spirit of God there to, oh, my sink. The Spirit of God is there to comfort you, to mentor you, to teach you, to be patient with you, and to listen. And now, because you know who you are and you took action, you did something that was very difficult to do. It's difficult to leave an abuser, a user, a liar, a cheater, because they play mind games. But now you found your mind. They tried to make you lose it. And God woke you up and you found it and realized that God and you was all you ever needed in the beginning. And they're feeling it today. They're hurting today because you're no longer a part of their equation. Until the next video, guys. Peace. I'm so proud of you. Good night.